In the biting winds of March 1996, the tranquil town of Skillingaryd, Sweden, held its breath as destiny weaved an unexpected tale. Karina E. Holmer, a mere 19 years old, found herself bestowed with a stroke of fortune, a $1,500 win from a lottery ticket she purchased on a whim. But instead of embracing this windfall and spending frivolously, Karina's heart yearned for something beyond material possessions. Little did she know, this quest would set in motion a series of events that would forever shroud her story in mystery and intrigue. Driven by an indomitable spirit, Karina made a daring decision: to depart from the comfort of her homeland and brave a move to America. Karina orchestrated her journey to America with a sense of urgency. She contacted an unlicensed agency, bypassing the traditional avenues in a bid to secure a tourist visa to the United States, a route often trodden by adventurous young Swedish women seeking greener pastures. With her modest winnings in hand, she embarked on a journey toward the land of opportunity, seeking a fresh start as an au pair amidst the vibrant and bustling landscapes of Boston, Massachusetts. Nestled amidst the vibrant streets of South Boston, Karina found solace in a modest basement apartment along the bustling A Street. However, her true destination for her move was in the elite area of Dover, Massachusetts. There, she stepped into the opulent domain of Frank Rapp, a distinguished photographer, and his talented wife, Susan Nichter, an artist renowned for her remarkable skill. Within the lavish confines of their residence, Karina assumed her role as caretaker for the couple's children, immersing herself in a world brimming with opulence, success, and artistic splendor. Amidst the structured routine of her prestigious workplace and the luxurious trappings of her employer's home, Karina embraced the vibrant pulse of her new city. Her moments of freedom away from work transformed into a canvas for exploration, an opportunity to delve into the heart of Boston's spirit. In these precious hours, she forged connections with fellow au pairs, bonding over shared experiences and aspirations. Together, they navigated the bustling streets, unraveling the city's mysteries and forging friendships that danced within the colorful fabric of their collective dreams. Beneath the veneer of bustling city life and the promise of boundless opportunities, a subtle transformation brewed within the sentiments etched onto Karina's letters back home. What had once been a tale painted with the vibrant hues of hope and excitement gradually morphed, bearing the weight of a darker and more disillusioned side of Karina. As the ink dried on each page, the cheerful strokes of her early adventures faded, giving way to an unsettling undercurrent of unease and uncertainty. The shadow cast upon her, once optimistic words hinted at a truth she dared not speak, a truth that whispered of hidden fears and secrets lurking within the shimmering cityscape she now called home. The cryptic words penned by Karina to her friend Ulrika Svensson bore an ominous weight. Within those lines lay a foreboding confession, shrouded in secrecy and fear. "Something terrible has happened," she wrote, withholding the chilling details from the parchment, but promising to unveil the haunting truth upon her return. The silence between those words echoed louder than any explanation she could offer. Embedded within those solemn lines, painted with shades of longing and regret, lay a soul wrestling with an unfulfilled yearning. Deep within Karina's heart resided an unwavering determination to truncate her stay, to sever the ties that bound her to a land where promises had turned to hollow echoes. The once glimmering dreams that beckoned her across oceans now lay cloaked in disillusionment, their brilliance dulled by the ache for the solace of her distant Swedish homeland. On the fateful night of June 21st, 1996, Karina and her friends embarked on an expedition to embrace the essence of midsummer, the revered summer solstice celebration from their homeland. In the intimate confines of Frank Rapp's loft apartment, Karina and her three friends prepared for the evening ahead, adorning themselves with the nostalgia-laden customs of their native land. With hearts brimming with the summer air, they ventured into the heart of Boston, craving to weave echoes of Sweden's vibrant traditions amidst the theater district's labyrinth of bars and nightclubs. In the waning hours of that spirited evening, their journey led them to the familiar haunt of Zanzibar, an iconic establishment nestled near the lush greenery of Boston Common. However, the revelry took a disquieting turn. Witnesses attested to Karina's heavily intoxicated state, prompting the club's staff to intervene. In compliance with their request, Karina bid adieu to the vibrant pulse of the club, willingly stepping out into the darkness of the night, guided solely by her own faculties. Little did anyone suspect that this seemingly innocuous departure would mark the beginning of a chilling mystery that would shroud Karina's fate in an impenetrable veil of uncertainty and speculation. In the haunting embrace of 3:20 a.m., as the city's nocturnal rhythm reached its crescendo before descending into a hushed symphony, Karina's lone silhouette painted an eerie tableau. In the desolate alley adjacent to Zanzibar, witnesses beheld a surreal sight, a solitary figure, Karina, engaged in an unexpected dance with an unlikely partner, a homeless man. The two disparate souls cast a chilling shadow upon the night, a haunting prelude to the tranquility of the following dawn. In the elongating shadows of the night, as darkness claimed its dominion, Karina's essence lingered at the poignant crossroads where Tremont Street converged with Boylston Place, a transient figure etched into the melancholic tapestry of the cityscape. Here, amid the spectral interplay of streetlights and shadows, her silhouette dissolved into the embrace of the night, morphing into an elusive specter that vanished into the mysteries concealed within the heart of Boston. Within that fleeting moment, Karina ceased to be a mere presence and instead became an ethereal presence, her fate entwined with the secrets whispered by the city's depths. The following day, under the languid embrace of the afternoon sun, Boston basked in a veneer of serene normalcy, a facade shattered by an unsettling revelation that disrupted the mundane cadence of the Back Bay neighborhood. Amidst the routine hum of life, where dumpsters and forgotten remnants of daily existence lay scattered, the routine scavenging of a homeless man took a sinister turn. Within this seemingly ordinary scene lurked a revelation that would reverberate through the quiet streets, heralding the dawn of a chilling chapter in Karina's inexplicable disappearance. Amidst the mundane scraps, a dark green bag, strangely weighty amidst the debris, lured the homeless man's attention. Curiosity piqued, he delved into its layers, oblivious to the chilling sight that awaited him within. Unveiled before his eyes lay a horrible and terrifying sight, a woman's upper torso, gruesomely severed at the waist. Shock and horror seized the man's very being as the gruesome reality tore through his senses. Driven by a frenzied panic, he bolted down Boylston Place, his anguished cries tearing through the stillness, a desperate plea for aid amidst the aftermath of an unspeakable horror. The chilling discovery ushered in a grim certainty that something sinister had upended Back Bay's serenity. In the grim aftermath of the harrowing discovery, a contingent of Boston police, spearheaded by Detective Thomas O'Leary, descended upon the haunting scene behind the apartment building in Back Bay. The weight of the unspeakable horror nestled within the discarded trash bag etched a haunting impression on the officers' hearts, a chilling memory that lingered for years to come. The contents unveiled a macabre reality, a severed human arm, its nails meticulously polished, a stark and unsettling contrast against the ghastly scene. However, this grisly appendage was just a fraction of the nightmarish truth. Within the confines of the bag, a grisly parcel weighing an ominous 48 pounds, lay the severed torso of a woman. An existence brutally truncated in a heinous act that defied comprehension and left an indelible stain upon the fabric of the serene neighborhood. The grotesque details of this unspeakable atrocity would echo through the corridors of the city, etching a haunting chapter in the annals of Boston's history. In a relentless pursuit, investigators meticulously sifted through the dumpster, driven by a desperate quest to find the missing half that would complete the tragic puzzle. With meticulous care, they scoured the refuse and debris, each item a potential clue in the harrowing search for closure. Yet, amidst the chaotic jumble of discarded remnants, the elusive bag concealing the woman's lower body remained an enigmatic specter, a haunting mystery forever swallowed by the merciless abyss of the unknown. Despite their exhaustive efforts, the tragic truth lay fragmented, leaving an unsettling void in the heart of the investigation, a void that echoed with the unanswered questions surrounding the brutal fate of Karina E. Holmer. The forensic evidence unveiled a chilling narrative, a tragic end wrought by the cruel grip of strangulation, evident in the haunting imprints etched upon the skin of the neck. These telltale marks bore witness to a ruthless force, suggestive of a methodical strangulation inflicted by a rope or cord, a horrifying testament to the violence that befell the victim. Moreover, the precision of the clean dismemberment bore the hallmark of an electric saw, a macabre testament to the harrowing finality of the act. The clinical detachment with which the body had been severed spoke of a cold and calculated brutality, shrouding the investigation in an unsettling aura of malevolence and leaving behind a haunting trail of questions about the motive and identity of the perpetrator. The tragic identification of the victim revealed the devastating truth. Karina, once vibrant and full of life at the tender age of 19, had met a gruesome fate. However, in a compassionate effort to ensure her family in Sweden was informed before the news was made public, Boston police undertook the agonizing responsibility of delivering the heart-wrenching revelation. Amidst the unfathomable grief, Karina's father, Ola, sought answers in his anguish, confronting the lead detective with a question that reverberated with unbearable sorrow. "What am I getting back?" he pleaded, his voice heavy with pain and desperation. The detective's response carried a weight of sorrowful finality as he gently replied, "You're getting her upper torso. You're getting her beautiful face." The words, laden with heartbreaking truth, encapsulated the stark and devastating reality of the heinous act that had robbed a family of their beloved daughter and left an irreparable void in their lives. The ghastly specter of Karina's heinous murder reverberated through the Boston city streets, a horrifying tale that ignited waves of terror and fear, casting a shadow over the collective psyche of Boston's citizens. The grotesque nature of the crime proliferated panic, leaving behind a city shrouded in an unsettling unease. The search for answers extended its reach across the sprawling expanse of Boston, an exhaustive quest that scoured dumpsters far and wide. Each trash receptacle became a potential repository of crucial evidence, including the fateful bag that held Karina's severed torso. Investigators, threading the needle of meticulous analysis, sought to extract traces of a partial print etched upon the bag's surface, an elusive clue that could lead to the brand and potentially lead to its manufacturer, a trail they hoped would unravel the mysteries surrounding her gruesome murder. Amidst the twists and turns of the investigation, a startling revelation surfaced: Karina's romantic entanglement with a Boston police officer in the period preceding her tragic death. However, despite the scrutiny that often accompanies such connections, the officer was swiftly eliminated as a suspect, which in turn raised eyebrows within investigative circles. The search extended to the tranquil local bodies of water. Each ripple in their surfaces became a canvas for exploration, a desperate attempt to recover any remnants of Karina that had eluded discovery. The keen senses of cadaver dogs were summoned, their noses trained to detect the faintest traces, leading them to Frank Rapp's A Street loft apartment. Yet within the confines of the building, their acute instincts failed to detect any telltale signs linked to the tragic events. In a landscape fraught with unanswered questions, the relentless pursuit of justice pressed forward, each lead a flickering beacon of hope in the relentless quest for closure. The chilling circumstances surrounding Karina's brutal murder pointed to a disturbing likelihood. The assailant or assailants possessed an intimate knowledge of her, potentially from close proximity or a familiar relationship. Investigators casting a wide net scrutinized individuals within her immediate circles, including her host family, who perplexingly maintained silence and refused to divulge any information related to Karina, raising suspicions and casting shadows of doubt. The horrific nature of the crime prompted the involvement of the FBI's Behavioral Sciences Unit, a specialized team adept at decoding the intricate psychology behind such heinous acts. Forensic psychologists dissected the grim details, noting the atypical absence of additional mutilation, a departure from the patterns often seen in the crimes of serial offenders and sadistic predators. The forensic puzzle presented an unsettling duality: the bisection of Karina's body, a gruesome act that hinted at either a frantic effort to conceal evidence of an assault or a grim necessity in the disposal process. Yet, the absence of further signs of desecration perplexed the profilers, leading them to contemplate a perplexing theory. They theorized the possibility of an inexperienced perpetrator, a first-time offender, potentially battling mental afflictions, a volatile combination that might propel them toward repeating such heinous acts. In the unnerving echoes of this analysis lay a foreboding warning that this ruthless individual, driven by inner turmoil and devoid of the characteristics of a seasoned criminal, might yet be tempted to unleash another wave of unimaginable horror. The relentless pursuit of justice unfolded in a storm of meticulous scrutiny and probing interviews that reached far and wide, encompassing over 300 individuals in connection to Karina's chilling murder. Despite the seemingly airtight alibi provided by Frank Rapp's family, suspicion cast a shadow over him, prompting a deep dive into his activities and behaviors that unfurled a tapestry of disturbing details. The timeline following Karina's discovery bore haunting echoes of suspicion veiled in a string of unsettling incidents tied to Rapp. A fire engulfing a dumpster outside the condo occupied by Frank and Susan shortly after Karina's body was found triggered alarms, a disturbing coincidence that roused further scrutiny. Although the charred remnants yielded no connection to Karina, it added yet another perplexing layer to an already convoluted investigation. The path of the inquiry led investigators to a trash transfer station in Dover, a destination tied to Frank. His permit to dispose of trash there, specifically on the day following Karina's disappearance, beckoned further scrutiny, prompting a meticulous search by cadaver dogs, a desperate attempt to unearth any concealed truth. Amidst the labyrinth of clues, rumors swirled, hinting at an ominous connection between Karina and Frank, a possible illicit relationship that whispered of impropriety. Former nannies of the artist couple stepped forward, painting a disturbing portrait of Frank's alleged inappropriate conduct, a sinister side that had long lurked in the shadows. The unsettling specter of possible secrets buried beneath the surface further fueled conjectures, whispers of an unwanted pregnancy or concealed truths that Frank might have sought to hide. These unsettling possibilities, coupled with the cryptic letters that had traversed oceans to reach Karina's friends in Sweden, painted a portrait of sinister secrets and hidden agendas. Despite the weight of suspicion that cloaked Frank Rapp, the law has not yet tightened its grip around him. He remains a haunting specter in the investigation, a shadowy figure lurking within the fold of still potential suspects. His involvement in Karina's tragic demise a chilling enigma yet to be conclusively unraveled. A local frontman of a band called Sleep Chamber was also interrogated by police, mostly due to his patronage at Zanzibar as lyricized in some of his songs, and the location of his apartment. John Ziwiz resided just 2 blocks from where Karina's torso was located. John also had a reputation for being peculiar. He had a large animal bone collection, and his band's shows very forwardly demonstrated subject matter relating to S&M and bondage. Furthermore, Ziwiz had been struggling with a worsening heroin addiction and was said to be in a volatile state. But there wasn't anything that definitively connected John to Karina, and police ruled him out as a suspect. Another man found to be in the area of Boylston Street in the early morning that Karina went missing was brought in for questioning on more than one occasion. Herb Witten was identified as someone seen speaking to Karina on the night of her disappearance, and had a weekend routine that included perusing the streets as bars were closing to pick up intoxicated women. Herb wasn't into the clubbing scene himself and did not spend any length of time out socializing, but he would make the lengthy, almost 40-minute trip from his home in Andover into the city at closing time specifically. The man always brought along his large white dog dressed in the same Superman t-shirt that he was wearing, making him pretty unmistakable. He was questioned by police, but they excluded him as a suspect when it was found that he was stopped and given a speeding ticket on his way back to Andover on the night in question. Within a year of Karina's homicide, Herb died by suicide in his home. In December of 1996, 6 months after the death of Karina, a man by the name of Gregory Hummel was arrested for kidnapping and attempted R-word. Ominously, Hummel had met and taken the young woman from the same bar Karina and her friends visited in June, Zanzibar. His arrest unleashed a torrent of suspicion that swirled around him. His checkered history, riddled with prior encounters with Boston law enforcement tied to violence and erratic behavior, raised unsettling parallels to whom the criminal profiler said would be responsible for the murder. As more and more sordid details of Hummel's background came to light, suspicion thickened. His occupation in real estate within Boston's Back Bay area and his management of numerous properties emerged interesting aspects of the investigation. His job gave him access to multiple vacant locations. Strangely, Hummel was also in possession of tools deemed essential for the gruesome act of dismemberment. All of these details formed a chilling mosaic that amplified suspicions regarding his potential involvement in Karina's homicide. Despite these chilling connections and the mounting eyes on Hummel within investigative circles, the law never seemed ultimately ready to tighten its grasp around Hummel in connection to Karina's murder. To this day, he continues to operate within the realms of real estate, casting a lingering shadow over the greater Boston area, a figure cloaked in suspicion yet eluding the grasp of justice. The haunting echo of violence transcended the boundaries of state lines, resurfacing in a ruthless and grotesque display in Hollywood, Florida, in May of 1999. The tragic fate of Delia Lorna Mendez unfolded in a scene painted with blood and brutality, a stark parallel to Karina's fate. Her body, ominously bisected at the waist, bore haunting resemblances to the earlier tragedy in Boston. However, upon meticulous examination and comparison between the 2 harrowing cases by detectives from Florida and Boston, stark differences emerged, veering them away from linking the 2 tragedies. Delia's ordeal unfolded with a savage beating that marred her body, a contrast to Karina's case. Furthermore, the lack of any attempt to conceal or wash Delia's body diverged starkly from the methodical disposal seen in Karina's murder. Authorities, scrutinizing the evidence and nuances of the cases, leaned toward a different narrative for Delia's murder, one entangled with potential connections to local drug elements. Despite the unsettling similarities, the divergent details steered the investigation away from connecting the 2 tragedies, leaving Delia's brutal demise shrouded in an unresolved mystery, eluding the desperate grasp of closure for so many. The question shrouding Karina's murder has spawned a web of conspiracies that lingered for nearly 3 decades, perpetuating a mystique steeped in unanswered questions. The absence of a physical crime scene has confounded investigators, feeding into speculative theories that challenge the plausibility of the grisly act within downtown Boston. One prevailing notion challenges the idea that Karina could have been murdered and dismembered amid the urban cacophony of early morning hours, where the jarring noise of an electric saw would seemingly raise alarms. However, amidst the urban symphony, the backdrop of the Big Dig, the massive construction undertaking rerouting I-93, punctuated the cityscape with its own symphony of noise and disruption. Yet, amidst the labyrinth of theories and speculative conjectures, the core of the mystery persists, the cryptic puzzle of motive. A question that looms large, overshadowing the entire investigation is, why? The answer to this fundamental query forms the heart of the enduring mystery surrounding Karina's tragic demise, a riddle that has resisted the relentless pursuit of closure for decades. Even as the passage of time casts a chilling shadow over Karina's case, the investigation encased in the frost of a cold trail, Karina's friends, family, and everyone involved in the case continues to beckon for any glimmer of evidence or whispers of information that might unveil the elusive truth behind her tragedy. With unwavering resolve, investigators remain vigilant, their ears attuned to any tips or leads that might breathe life into the dormant investigation. The passage of time has not dulled their determination to seek closure for Karina, and they stand ready to grasp any fragment of evidence that might illuminate the darkness cloaking her unsolved case. In the face of adversity and the shroud of silence that envelops this mystery, the quest for answers remains undeterred, a testament to the unwavering commitment to uncover the truth and bring justice to Karina's memory. If you have any tips or information about Karina, please contact the Massachusetts State Police Unresolved Case Unit toll-free at 1-855-MA-SOLVE or email at mspmunresolved@pol.state.ma.us or send a letter to the Unresolved Cases Unit at 470 Worcester Road, Framingham, MA 01702. Any information, big or small, could be the key to solve Karina's murder.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Fireside Unsolved. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Until next time, take it easy and be easy, you filthy bastards.